Welcome back, Endgame community. Thanks for joining us. As always, you're in luck because today we're going to do our bold predictions for the 2021 fantasy football season. Always one of my favorites. So let's get right into it. You know we like these spicy takes. So Chris, start me off with something a little mild.
I don't think most people are going to consider this mild. And you know I'm not going to take the opportunity of a bold prediction video and not make a bold Jalen Hurts prediction. So here you go. Not only does Jalen Hurts finish as a top 5 fantasy QB this year, but going into next season, he is viewed as a lock, solid top 15 real life NFL QB. And all the question marks about should he be the Eagles starter? Should they trade for Deshaun Watson? All those questions are gone because I think he will do good enough to earn that. Because let's be honest, he doesn't have to put up like a Patrick Mahomes or a Tom Brady type season to do that. If he shows that he is capable and he can lead a team and that there is signs that this team might be headed in the right direction, they're going to be fine with Jalen Hurts. So that's what I really think is going to happen. I really honestly believe that that is going to happen. He's going to finish top 5 and people next year are going to view him as a safe, locked in, I don't want to say a franchise quarterback, but a clear number 1 quarterback for the Eagles, and all those question marks will be gone.
I would have been disappointed if you didn't have a Jalen Hurts prediction on here. I don't know, some of our members, our original Endgame members, are going to be very happy to see this. Now, I'm going to actually go with the same team here, the Eagles. I've been saying this for a while now, but I'm going to go the opposite direction. So Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback, especially in the fantasy world, because of his rushing ability also. And you know what? That's going to hurt Miles Sanders. I've been down on Sanders as it is. We've already seen they drafted Kenneth Gainwell, right? They brought in a free agent, who didn't pan out. But still, they are not sold on Sanders. We've heard this. We know he's not going to be a 3-down back. He's not going to be as involved in the passing game. I think we will see Gainwell come on towards the middle of the season. But also, Hurts is going to eat into his rushing production. So my prediction is Miles Sanders not only is worth his draft capital, I think he falls outside the top 30 running backs for fantasy. I really think, he was so dependent last year on those big games, the 80-yard run, right, 70-something yard run. You take that away, it was really a poor season, not a good showing. And yeah, sure, he could still do that and, pull off a nice fantasy day once in a while. You cannot depend on that. And you know what? Fewer snaps always means fewer points. So I'm labeling Sanders as my big bust this year. All right, let's get even spicier. Chris, number 2.
My bold prediction is that Justin Fields is the starting quarterback for the Bears by week 2. But actually, that's not my bold prediction because I don't even think that's really that bold. I think they're going to let Andy Dalton go out there, get destroyed by that Rams defense, and then they're going to turn to Justin Fields. But Justin Fields being the starting quarterback is what leads me to my bold prediction, and that's that Allen Robinson finishes as the overall wide receiver 1 because he has Justin Fields for every game but week 1. And from that point on, I think Justin Fields, look, this guy is already one of the best wide receivers in the NFL with some of the worst QB play we've ever seen. This guy puts up top 10 fantasy seasons with horrendous quarterbacks. You give him Justin Fields with that arm, with that dynamic playmaking ability, I think that propels Allen Robinson to the number 1 fantasy wide receiver for 2021 fantasy football.
Love it. I love it. My wide receiver 1 isn't quite as bold. I won't put that out here. But, I love me some DK Metcalf. I'm going to go with a quarterback prediction here, too. Let's talk about somebody, an old standby. That's Matthew Stafford. So we know he can pile up yardage. But how about this? I predict that in 2021, with the Rams now, he leads the NFL in passing and actually sniffs. I'm not going to go so far as say he gets. I think he gets really close to 5,000 yards. That's a lot. Okay, so why is this the case? Because, well, the Rams already love to pass. Do you remember 2 years ago, Jared Goff? Yeah, the Jared Goff that they just kind of discarded to get Matthew Stafford, led the league in pass attempts, is also one of the league leaders in yardage for the last 3 years. And that was with, at one point, a really good Todd Gurley. And last year, we saw Cam Akers come on. Sadly, Cam Akers is no longer there. At least he's there in spirit. Now Darrell Henderson's banged up. That running game is just not going to be able to support the offense. They're a team that is going to just rely on Stafford's arm. He got more weapons there with Deshaun Jackson, Tutu Atwell, Van Jefferson his second year. I think it's going to be pass, pass, pass. And I really think that Stafford is going to love his new system. So I think we're going to see the best version of Stafford. I think we're going to see a really fantasy-friendly version of Stafford, which is why I'm drafting him late everywhere I can. But my prediction is he actually goes out and leads the league in passing. All right. One more bold prediction. Let's hear it.
Well, I'm going to talk about two cast-off veteran running backs that nobody wants to draft, and that's Kenyon Drake and James Conner, because I think both of them outscore the other running back that I guess you could say they're competing against on their own teams, which would be Josh Jacobs for Kenyon Drake and Chase Edmonds for James Conner, right? These guys, nobody wants these guys anymore. Kenyon Drake was a second-round pick last year. James Conner was like a third, fourth-round pick last year. And now these guys are going outside the top 100. Why? Because Chase Edmonds? I'm supposed to be nervous about Chase Edmonds, a guy who is nothing more than a change of pace back. Not nervous about him at all. I think James Conner has no problem outscoring him, gets more touches, gets more touchdowns, definitely outscores Chase Edmonds. And then on the other side, Kenyon Drake, I know everybody loves Josh Jacobs, but here's a little newsflash for you about Josh Jacobs. He's an average running back. I think you and I even said that when they drafted him. It's like, okay, he's just a kind of an average running back. He's nothing special at the running back position. And look, I don't think Kenyon Drake is more than an average running back either, but I think Kenyon Drake's going to catch more passes than Josh Jacobs. And I think they could have the same amount of touchdowns, which is going to give Kenyon Drake more value. So I do believe that Kenyon Drake and James Conner will each outscore their running back mate in Josh Jacobs and Chase Edmonds.
And can we talk for a second about the Raiders' fetish for Alabama players? I mean, it makes sense, but still, like every draft pick, it doesn't have to be, Crimson Tide. But moving on, my last prediction here is, well, I was going to do a Dolphin-based one, a homer pick, but let's throw it out the window. I've changed it just in the last, 20 minutes or so of preseason action, watching Marquez Callaway go off again and be what you wanted Michael Thomas to be. So here it is, Marquez Callaway is a top 25 fantasy wide receiver. That's right, Marquez Callaway, who, don't lie, you literally had never heard of before a couple weeks ago, and is not being drafted in most fantasy leagues. Marquez Callaway is going to be the wide receiver one there. No doubt about that. Michael Thomas, is he really going to come back? Even if he does, it's a risk of re-injury. Who knows if he's even going to want to play at this point. So Callaway is clearly going to be the top target there for the first half of the season, probably through the whole season. I don't care who's their quarterback. It doesn't matter. They have to pass it to somebody besides Alvin Kamara. So there you go. Callaway, draft him everywhere. Book it. All right. Is that bold enough for you? What are your bold predictions, though? Let's hear them. This is the time and the place. So let us know with a comment here. But also, if you haven't joined our Discord, do it now. The link in the description below will help you join the fastest growing fantasy football community around. So click on the link, join our Discord, and talk fantasy football all season long. All right, thanks for watching.